What's up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games, coming at you with another cool stream/video. And today we're going to be getting into Planet Coaster, so hold tight, and let's get into it. Alright, so we're in Planet Coaster now. Let me get the audio up so you can hear that wonderful, wonderful music. Alright, and looks like the stream is going. And it always cuts off the entrance of the video or the exit. But anyways, we're in it nonetheless, and we're going to be going into play Sandbox, and I guess it doesn't really matter which one, but I'm going to go ahead and choose Grassland, and we're going to call this little number Cedar Point. I think I've already named one that, so we'll just say Entrance. So we're going to get into this, and it's going to be fantastic. Now, I've already made a Cedar Point Entrance, and it's on the Steam Workshop, but this one I hope to be a little bit more improved. So, here we go. As we all know, Cedar Point is one of the greatest amusement parks in the world. I've been to it just once, and it was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. I haven't been to a lot of parks in the first place, so this is going to be awesome. So I think I don't even have the menu music on, because I was doing some cinematic stuff, and I wanted the audio, so I was already on audio, duh. Mute game soundtrack. No, we want that game soundtrack. So if I go over here, you can see that I've already made this. I've actually made a Cedar Point Entrance already. But I'm looking to improve this a little bit. This one took me quite a while, and I did it off screen. And it is available on the Steam Workshop if you're interested. Now, I'm going to be trying to make the full entrance of Cedar Point rather than just this piece. And I'm going to start from the start. This actually wasn't too hard of a thing to do. So, as you can see, it turned out pretty nice. And I remember actually making that look more metal than stone. I think after an update, it kind of changed the texture of it for some reason. But anyways, that's all right. So, what I also have for you guys, I actually have some reference photos on, so I can also turn on this screen so you can actually see the reference photos. A lot of people have been asking, can we see the reference photos that you're using and stuff like that, and the answer is yes. So, I've got that going for me now, and I could very much well use a third screen because I just have so many things opened up, whether it be the live stream and the chat and the thing that helps me, or my editor while I'm live streaming, and then also the game itself takes up one full screen. So anyways, let's get started into this, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my reference photos here. We're going to go back to the reference photos and kind of see what's a good picture to start off with. So this is almost slightly a tutorial as well. You're going to want to find a great picture. It looks like that's one of the ones that's actually under construction, so I don't want that. I'm only using half a screen here, which kind of makes it a little bit difficult, but this is a pretty good picture here, front view wise. As we can see, I actually think I used this one for the thumbnail, but I kind of want an aerial view in a way. So let's see what other pictures we have. This is a good one. Kind of gets that midway. We're gonna create the front parts. It's kind of has this very large width path at the beginning here. So let's see. Yeah, let's use this photo. So this is the photo we're gonna be using. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit to kind of get this very beginning entrance here. It looks like we got some trash cans off to the side. So, in a way, this is kind of the recreation series. So, alright, I'm going to get back to this. 3 more till 3,000, that is true. here, the interesting part is that I've already hit 3,000, but it dropped under 3,000 within like an hour and stuff, and it never went back over yet. So that was kind of disappointing. But 3,000 hopefully won't be far enough away. I didn't do anything videos wise yesterday because I was not feeling well. I was very lightheaded and just didn't get around to making a video yesterday, which is quite unfortunate because I'm trying to get videos out each and every day. I think we can use the... Alright, let's get the width up here. Alright, so this is going to be... Alright, let's select grid. It's a little bit... It's actually about 2 times thicker here. It is quite of a wide pathway we're trying to create. So this is the entrance to Cedar Point. So it's got to be grand. So it's a very wide pathway here. And it's got some... let's see. It's got some... scenery here. It's got some trash cans. I think this not this, let's not use the sci-fi one. This park bin or the rustic. Let's just use the regular park bin, I guess. I think that's the best one to use for this situation, as we do have kind of like a park mat or park sign over here as well that I can create easily at the same time next to this bin. So what we're going to do is, I'm sorry if I'm ignoring a little bit of the comments. I have so many things up on my 2 monitors. It would be nice to have 3 monitors at this point because there's just so many stuff here that I'm working with. So this kind of has like a concrete floor here. So I'm going to place this here. Alright, so we're going to go back into building because I want this to be kind of next to it like this, because it's not very thick. And then we can go into scenery, and it's actually under shapes, and this will actually fit quite nicely if I create this, and it's actually a blue sign. So yes, I'm going very into detail here of what I'm creating. So it's kind of a nice blue here, and it's kind of a little bit, let's see if I can't find a better thing here. Not for that. Let's see if this will work. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe this one. Let's go and press X and snap it up here. This might actually work quite nicely. Alright, so this is going to be a sign that sits here. So I'm going to take these. I guess I can't. That's alright. So we'll just move them like that. It's not super thick. Alright, I want to make sure this is nice and clean. Alright, so I'm going to use the multi-selection tool and select these 4 because I do want to move them forward and center them just a little bit. Kind of right there. And then I also want to do multi-select one more time and actually make this a little bit taller because it is a slightly bit taller, and I don't think I can. So we're going to have to do it individually by doing Control X after I get multi-selection off here. So we're going to duplicate this, make it just slightly taller, Control X, and make sure this is as clean as it gets. Just as close. And this is going to be quite the interesting entrance here, because here it'd be better to copy this one. Alright, it doesn't have to be exact, just close enough. Because, alright, there is a little sign right there. So let me get back to your guys' comments. Will I be adding Gatekeeper? Most likely. Probably not the full coaster, but Oh gosh. I wouldn't say I'll be adding the full coaster, but at least the entrance part of the coaster. So I'm going very well into detail. This could be turning into a recreation of Cedar Point. By no means am I going to fit the entire park into one sandbox, because that would be impossible. Because the park is just way too big. It would have to be broken up into sections, which I very well may do. All right, let's see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to create... All right, there is no... there's absolutely no... Get this out of the way. Fence here for the pathway, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the railing on the path, because there actually is no railing, because this connects to the parking lot, which I'm not going to build the parking lot. Okay, so there are some planters around, but I can't really see them very well in this shot. So I'm actually thinking about getting Google Earth up here, which actually might not be... I don't even think they have Gatekeeper, unless they've updated it, so it might not actually help me at all. So we're going to go back into some more reference photos and see if we can't get a good shot of the entrance here from another spot. Now, this is an animated version. I don't know how accurate it is, because it is animation, but I'd assume it's pretty close. It just has some colors that are off. As you can see, you got the ticket booth. I think there's guest relations right here, and some other buildings. Again, I don't know how accurate that is to the actual thing itself. So, but that'd be a great shot to have if for an actual real correct shot. Let me see if I can't find a shot that I'm looking for. These are just too far away, and I need more of overhead shots, if you can see what I mean here. It's just so hard to find reference photos without actually having photos. So it's kind of a pain to figure out how this is all going to work out. So you got the Cedar Point logo in the middle. That's obvious. And here's a pretty decent shot. All these pictures. There's a shot from, it looks like, the parking lot. Yes. But we're not looking for that. Okay, there's pictures of the old entrance. Here is another shot, pretty much similar to the other one that I've had. Here's another shot. Let's take a look at this one. Alright, I'll keep that one up. See, it's a very large area. So, I don't know. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, if you check Google Maps, I don't even think Gatekeeper was on there. It actually looks like they were deconstructing, oh, what was it? For some reason, I can't think of the name. I could always think the name, but for some reason, I can't think of the name. But it was called, man, the indoor coaster that or kind of like the indoor coaster that they took out to put Gatekeeper. It was, I can remember its old name, Avalanche Run, and then... yeah, I can't believe I can't remember it. And it was called... I do not know why I can't remember the name. And I'm sure you guys will tell me. Like, I've never forgotten it before. For some reason, I can remember Avalanche Run before they enclosed it, which was a long time ago. Disaster Transport. There we go. That's right. Disaster Transport. Okay, so I believe it goes out. I'm going to use this aerial view that I found. It's animated, but it's the best view I have. And I can't be too far off, am I right? This can't be too far off. I mean, it's literally a... animation that's supposed to be showing what's going to be in there. So okay, so here we go. I believe it breaks off and gets wider. So we're going to go back to paths. Excuse me, sorry. Throat's a little plugged up here. And this will go like this. Alright, let's taking a look at these. Alright, it's pretty much square except for a couple parts, it looks like. So I'll go 2 here. And I don't know if that's square. I'm assuming it's going to be square. And it has about 2 going this way. I'm going to leave a gap here. Let me see if I can figure out how wide this is. Sorry, there's so much going on. See, I wish Google Maps was updated on Cedar Point because it doesn't have Gatekeeper. It doesn't have the updated entrance and stuff, which is kind of a letdown. Alright, I'm going back to the browser and seeing what I can't find. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to do that. I have to scroll this over. I'm only working with half a screen, so it's kind of hard. See, I get these good shots from there, but I need like an aerial shot. I don't know if I can find an aerial shot. Or a good aerial shot to... Oh, here we go. This is from the Theme Park Studio Forum. Interesting. I can't see it. Oh gosh. I don't want to zoom in on the... I don't want the advertisements. I just wanted to view the image. There we go. Now, this probably is not accurate, is it? This is like the animation. Is it more round? Because it looks a little bit more square. I don't know. I think it is round. This looks round to me. Does anybody know if that is round? Or kind of blocky square? That's what I'm kind of looking for. Does anybody know that? Is it round or square? Round or square? I've been there, and I don't remember it being round. I will say that. I don't remember it being, like, roundish. I kind of more remember it being more squarish, but I could be wrong. It's been quite a few months since last August. I went last August. Alright, it doesn't have to be super accurate. I want it to be accurate, but... Alright, I think we need these a little bit wider then. If we're gonna go in this direction. Alright, let me get to my Alright, let's go back to the game. That way we can kinda see where we're going here. Alright, I'm gonna use this picture. Alright, and if I deselect the grid, width's all the way up. This is one issue I knew I would have. Let me get back to the picture that I need. Oh gosh. Planet Coaster, don't freeze. Please don't freeze. Alright, I'm going to select the grid again, and we're going to just create this really big flat land. And what we're going to do is, it looks like it does this, kind of. It's got an outer layer as well with a different textured path. I don't know if that's real or not. In the real world... Alright, we're going to deselect that grid, and it has an angle here. but it's rather straight. And it's kind of diagonal here, but don't know if I'm going to be able to do this quite well. The length is already as short as it's going to go. Oh, this is very difficult. What am I going to do here? Could possibly do this. And something like that. If I hold control, I can actually do this. See, it needs to be more blocky. Alright, don't want a grid selected. But there's no gap in here too, so it's very difficult to figure out how I'm going to do this for pathway-wise. But we're going to go ahead and skip the path a little bit here, and we're going to go straight to the entrance of Cedar Point. We'll worry about this later because the entrance is going to be right here. That way we can get to the good stuff. Alright, I'm going to go back to the browser here, and we're going to select a good entrance photo. That one's not bad, but I need like a, there we go. Something more like this. So I can get a good shot of the building. Which is right here. And its entrance is very good, really neat, and really unique. So we're going to go off of that. Let's get out of pathways here. And, alright. I'm peeking in on the chat every so often, so at least I'm trying to. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to go to building, and we need to find the texture that would work the best with this. So we're gonna go to let's see, this is not very thick right there, so for the front parts I'm half tempted to take this out. I'm gonna go piece by piece and show how it's done, but I'm half tempted to see what I did on my blueprint that I created. I think I used a full wall. Yeah, I did use a full wall to create this entrance. Interestingly enough. Alright, so I used a full wall. I'm just going to place this off to the side, so I can kind of use it more as a guide just in case, because I have already created this. But I created it back in like alpha, during the alpha stages, so there might be some better things I can use now. Alright, I would say using a full wall is not going to be a bad thing here. So we're going to use the full wall. And the texture I think I used was kind of the paneled texture. Worked kind of pretty well with it. I haven't used it in forever, these panel walls here. As you can see, I think it works the best. It's not exact, but it's the best we have. So what we're going to do here is kind of find a good color. This actually works very well. So we're going to place this here, and I can readjust it later. But we're going to create this wall here to go down. Oh, I don't know how many. We'll focus on that a little bit later. Alright, so we'll place another one over here. But it is pretty large, so I might open the gap just a little bit more, and you also have to consider the coaster that goes above it, so as well. And as for the actual other entrance I made in the past, take a look at some more browser content to see exactly how much this takes up of that pathway. It looks like it takes about all of it. Okay. I think I might want to make that just a little bit wider. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to make that just a little bit wider. I did not mean to place you if I did. Alright, so what we're going to do is actually take you and move this over more. Like so. I'm going to take the whole building and we're going to move it. And it looks like it's not even straight. Which is kind of lame. Should automatically be straight. Alright, so... it's okay if it's not completely straight. We can fix that later. Alright, so going back to the photo here. It's going to be a little bit taller, so we're going to go ahead and add an extra one. It is kind of slightly at an angle, but we can't really do anything there for that I am aware of that has a good texture anyways that works for this. So we're going to keep it the way it is here. Alright, so as we can see, there are like these big poles, beams that support it. Another thing is, I think what we're going to do first is actually build a paneled or a roof on the top. And I don't really think it matters too much what we use here, so I'm going to use the paneled roof flat again for this because you can't really see it, and it is actually white. And it does hang off a little bit at the edge, so we're going to go ahead and turn the grid size down so it hangs off just a little bit off the edge here. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to do this, and we're just going to copy and paste this across. And that will act as our roof. So I mess up there. And one more, as it also hangs off. There we go. And it's kind of got this, I remember what I did on the first one I did. It actually worked very well. I used this little angled, oh, what is it? Like this glass roof that is actually going over, kind of, and it actually works very well for that. So we're gonna go ahead and I believe it's under roofs and under pitched roofs, and it's actually this glass canopy that I used that you actually use this, and it's not perfect, but I think it actually works very well. So we'll place this all the way across like this, because I think I put a another roof on top of it even. But you can see how this works as this, and so you can see it has a little bit of a gap between each one, which is okay. It's just there to kind of look like the structure. And I think it actually gets the job done very well. As you can see, I just kind of made another layer of the roof here. I actually made it a double roof layer. So actually, instead of putting those there right now, I think it is smart because it does, that's not really thick enough. So I think it is very smart to create 2 layers of the roof. I believe that's what I did here. If not 3, I think I actually made 3 layers here. So we're going to go ahead and select all this and create a second layer to make it a lot more thicker. And I hope I get this where I need it. And you have to also keep in mind of the coaster that's going to be rolling around, rolling over this, doing a 0G roll over it. So you got to make sure you have the width of this completely correct. I guess I copied. Gosh darn it. Okay, so if I go into multi-selection and do this, is it going to select the walls too? Yes, it will. Okay, I don't care. We're just going to... Okay, apparently I moved or clicked out of that. We're just going to do by this. But anyways, they're supposed to be coming out with an update that's supposed to improve the coaster supports as well, which I'm very excited for. So hopefully that those coaster supports will start looking a little more realistic. Alright, see what you guys are saying. But anyways, I want to make it... I'm making this entrance very similar to this one. As you can see, it is very basic, actually. It is very basic. I actually think this is the front. Yes, it is. And I actually put like a black screen here to make it look like a projected screen for Cedar Point. And it, ever since it went out of alpha, it actually changed the texture of this. So it kind of does suck that it changed everything. Okay, so now that we got that, as you can see, I do have 3 layers here. So I'm very tempted to do 3 layers. But I'm just hoping this isn't too wide of an entrance. If I look at the picture, I want to say I'm a little bit too wide here for proportions. Because that is quite wide. Maybe not. Actually, I might be going crazy. Alright, so we're going to build this up as a 3rd layer. So we're going to use 3 layers of flat roof here to get this feeling. Whoops. Make a mistake, so I had to reselect all these again. There we go. Alright, so, and when I'm looking at what I did here is create a flat roof that went over, but as for the entrance, yeah, so that's what I did here. I think it actually worked very well, so we're going to stick to that for this. Alright, so grid size we're going to have to change again. So it's hanging over. We did it on both sides, and this works very well. Except for putting it in the wrong spot, of course. We don't want to do that. And we're going to do the same thing to the opposite or other side as well. How thick did I make this? About 3. I'm hoping I'm making it long enough and wide enough. If not, we can go in and readjust it. And hopefully we don't have to do that. But knowing my luck, we probably will. But we'll see how this turns out. So then we can make this here, just to give it that added effect. And then we can create a sign that goes across the front. We're going to make those supports first, those rounded supports. So we're going to place this on both sides. I believe I have it on both sides, yes. And I'll still need to fill the wall in. Alright, so we're going to place this glass canopy just because it gives that rounded, nice look to it. It just gives it that certain look that I want. Get you in place. There you go. Alright, next we'll be looking at the cylinder supports here. Alright. So those cylinder supports are kind of a metal kind of texture. And I don't know if they really have a metal. They might now. I don't see anything. So we're looking for something about actually this size. I'm going to turn the grid size up for right now at the moment. We're going to go about right here. The best thing I can see is the stucco, and we can just recolor it to be silver. That's probably our best bet. I don't think we can really do anything else to it, unfortunately, so we're going to have to do that. Look at that. It fits perfectly right there. If we hit Control D, let's see exactly. I think it's right there. And we'll put them straight back because there is a second one right behind it. Kind of in the same spot. There we go. And it's starting to take a little bit of shape here. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be recreating all of Cedar Point. This is just me trying to build an entrance. The entrance to Cedar Point. And if it goes well, who knows? I might continue on a little bit more with this. And, you know, again, I can't fit this all into one sandbox mode. So that might be if I even do all this. So I can see how I created the towers. It's a little bit different. You can't really do the towers exactly the way you want them. They're not going to be exact, but I thought I did a pretty good job with the towers on my first attempt at this. In fact, that's actually about what's next, and as you can see, I did place even like the slightest things like that supports, which I'm actually add right now. So if we go into here, and you can even probably use a wooden, different kind of pillars here. That we need a white one, kind of a longer. So we're gonna select this green one. We're gonna hit X. We're gonna change it to white so it matches, because there's actually, if you look here, I'll show you in the browser. If we zoom in right here, what I'm looking at right here is kind of like these small supports. Again, I'm trying to get just the slightest details in these as best as I can. And again, if I don't get to the chat, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get these. Or I'm trying to look at reference photos, so it's kind of hard to be in the chat at the same time. Alright, it's not that thick, so what if I rotated you this way to where you're... Oh gosh. What did I do? Don't know what I did. Oh, I deleted that by accident. Okay. Alright, what I meant to do is not that. Alright, hit X again. I wanted to turn angle snap on and rotate it this way. I need something. Actually, let's see if there's actually something a little bit thinner. Yeah, this will work a lot better. It's too woody structured. This one's concrete. Still a little bit thick. That's exactly what I'm not looking for. No. I guess we're going to have to use something like that. That one snaps. So no. How does this one look white? Yeah. We'll have to use this one, I suppose. Alright, that, and then we'll use X to kind of give that feeling of just like that. We're gonna press X. I'm gonna rotate you and make you exactly to the other side. So don't go too far up. I just need to get you over here. And hopefully you'll fit quite nicely. Yes. Alright. Looks pretty good. I need to, Did you place? Yes, you did. Okay. I'm going to move you back just in the slightest so you don't come through when I zoom out. There we go. Alright, so that's a good start. Of course, this isn't complete without the 2 towers that support Gatekeeper. So to make these, they actually have a metal that we can use. I actually used like this kind of outer column. Let's see, we got smooth concrete. I don't believe they have the steel, so that's kind of a letdown. But there's these thin, as you can see, there's these thin sections here, and to do that, I had to use like a column rather than an actual wall itself, because these are way too thin to be make the full wall effect, and we don't want to do that. So what we're going to be doing, which if I remember correctly, I used a column. I thought they had a metal one that I used back in the alpha. I don't know if they have it anymore. So we'll go to walls here and see what we can find. See, what we're going to be wanting to use is this metal alloy texture, and that's kind of the texture that I want, because it's kind of like a metal kind of feel to it. I don't want to use a full wall, because that's too big. Oh, hello? What are you doing here? Did anybody see me place that? Because I don't remember. Alright, so I got this metal that I want to use. As you can see, these... Oh, man. Alright, so we're going to go to columns. And it looks like we're going to have to use something like smooth concrete, because they don't have the metal column that I want. So we're going to have to use the smooth concrete, unfortunately, because that's all we have. It's the only thing we got. And we can place it about... Alright, let me get the wall in. I use the metal alloy wall. And it will only take about 2 walls with a small gap in between like that, because there is a gap in there. And we're going to do this to both sides. As you can see, it's not going to be completely centered, but that's okay. I mean, you can make them centered, but... Alright, so this is going to go up for a little bit. And what I usually like to do is actually build the piece of track that it's going to be going through the keyholes. Alright, so what we're going to do actually is duplicate these first. And we're going to build you up. Quite a bit of a ways here. I'd say about right here is a good spot to actually go into the keyhole itself. So we're going to make sure this is wide enough for the track, and it should be. And it's got to be pretty long. So you can see how tall I made it there. Then we're going to want to use the roof details here, and we're going to go into these. We're actually going to use this to what we need. I actually think we want a gentler one. Alright, so if we use the gentle slope here, actually... and keep that gap there, because it's important to keep that gap there. Alright, we're going to want to duplicate this and make sure this goes up. Connects with that. And hopefully this looks the way I want it to. I don't know, it might be too gentle. I might actually consider making that just a little bit steeper. Because that does look a little bit gentle. As you can see what I did here, I did use a steeper one. And I just wanted to see what it looked like. So we're going to go ahead and delete these. We're going to use the steeper ones like I did in the previous build that I did. So we're going to do that. I don't know why I rotated that at all. So you're going to put them over here as if it was continuing the slope. And then we'll go ahead and replace you here. Like so. And then wall piece must go here. And it looks like we might go down to 1H here. We just need to make sure it's level with this, which it is there. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Not looking too bad on the tower, first tower there, and you can literally copy and paste these. Copy and paste it to the other side if you want. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. And actually, there's actually like little antennas on the inside. I would save to, won't do that quite yet because they're on opposite sides. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and select everything in the tower. You can make it individually if you want, but if you want to make sure it's precise, it's always a good idea. Actually, what we need to do first is put the walls on both sides here for this. Again, I wish they did have a metal alloy column that you can use, because it is going to be mismatched textures here. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look exactly what we're going for. Alright, so let's put you over here. Alright, so now we're going to select everything here on the tower. Like so. Just make sure you get everything. Alright, we're going to flip to the other side and select this side as well. These walls and these walls. And now we can literally duplicate it and put it over here. Alright, I didn't put it in the right spot, so we're going to click move again. Is that it? Is that the correct spot? I believe it is. Now, in my personal opinion, I still think this is a fairly quite wide. I think it needs to be a little bit narrower. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. But that's just me. I think it needs to be a little... This all needs to be narrower. And that's just where what I'm thinking. Like, literally, if I could put it... Probably about right here is probably where it needs to be. And you gotta consider, you know, you're putting a 0G roll through this, and it needs to be correct. So what we're gonna do now is I'm actually gonna take all of this right here. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete these, because I'm gonna make this narrower. I'm actually going to go ahead and move this to where it lines up with the tower. Over here. Proportions are always important. on how you get this. So it looks like it put these on walls on the outside for some reason. I don't even know why it moved both walls when I only had one I must have still had the other one selected, but because I want it on the inside. So we're going to have to rotate it. There we go. And move, rotate, check. Alright, so we're going to want to move this as well. Actually, I don't want to do that, so we're going to use X. Get it in the correct spots. Alright, now all that's left to do is just delete the extra pieces we have here. So we can literally go to this. Okay, I guess I don't have the building selected. Even though I did. Okay, you can't do it that way. Whatever. You actually have to go in here, and you can't select it like that. You have to do it this way. Which is okay. And so we can just do this. Do it this way. Whoops. Here, I got it. We'll just move this piece. Recycle, yeah. Oh, you deleted... It literally deleted all my walls there. Which I'm not going to deal with. So, we're just going to delete all this. And there we go. Just got to move you a little bit more. So you're not going out there. There we go. And now we'll just have to duplicate these. Right there. And right there. If I'm correct with that, which I believe I am. As you can see, I think that's just a little bit more better proportion-wise, and it looks a little bit easier. I think a zero-G roll will be able to fit in there just a little bit better. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead to Decorations Lights, and I'm actually going to use this as kind of like the antenna that goes at the top of here, and we can literally press X and do that. It works well. And I think overall it makes it look good. There we go. So you have like the little antennas on but they're actually lights, and I think they actually blink as well. So in real life. So now one thing is for certain, we're gonna have to build a coaster that goes through there. But first off, I'm going to build this sign that goes across, rather, and we're going to need to find like just a blank texture here. So we got smooth concrete. I don't want to use smooth concrete. We can use just the paneled wall, and I usually just make this black. And we can put it across here. And it will look like the little LED screen that plays all that stuff when you're entering the park. Like so. Except with the without the battling textures. So we're gonna actually... I guess I didn't realize that was going up in there. So let's let's go 1H. It's too thin. This will work. Alright, so that way we have our screen. You know, it says welcome to Cedar Point and all that stuff. Alright, as you can see, it's starting to look very similar to the first entrance that I created. That was the point, because I thought I did a pretty good job on this one. I was pretty proud of this entrance that I did make. Alright, with that being said, I think we can go ahead and delete this. I don't need it as a guide anymore. I just kind of had it there because I remember making it myself. And yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and move this to the center, more to the center. And I think it's very good on proportion-wise. We're going to turn angle snap off, and we got to make this parallel with the path. Alright, I think that's good right there. And then, of course, we can build the pathway going into Cedar Point. Like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these pathways here. I know they're going to walk through the walls, but we'll manage with that. Now there's also a building over here that's guest relations, I believe. So, but the first things first, I do want to create the coaster rolling through this first and foremost. That way, it doesn't like. That way, we kind of get an idea of where the coaster is. So I'm going to go back to the browser here. And we're going to take a look to see if we can't get a good shot of the coaster itself. Kind of like that. But I want a little bit more. Let's see if I can get all this out of the way. This one looks pretty good. Let's view image here, and we can zoom in if we needed. If we hold down control here. Now, I'm not really needing to look at a lot of details. It's just kind of like how the coaster looks from the front is kind of what I'm trying to look for here. Alright, so here we go. So what I'm going to have to do is actually go to coasters, go and find the wing coaster. We want the Black Falcon, because it is not a launch. What I'm going to do is we're going to place this a little bit further back here. And what we're going to do is create just a normal... Like here, angle snap is already off. Alright, so I'm going to go over here and actually change the banking offset to 7. That way we get more of that heart line, as you can see. Because that is what we're going to want. Alright, so twist to the right. Looks like I need to go more over here. Oh gosh, did not mean to do that. Alright, angle snap. See, I'm trying to center this up as best as I can. Alright, so we're going to start going up here. It changed my offset for some reason. Alright, this is going to be completely altered in just a little bit, so do not worry. I don't know why that keeps changing. Alright, so we're going to change angle snap here. Alright, because it's about completely upside down when we hit the center of this. I know this looks horrifying at the moment, just stick with me. Alright, so this will... I went the wrong way. I was like, wait a minute. That's not right. And there we go. We're gonna come back down here. Oh my gosh, this looks so horrifying at the moment, but what I'm trying to do... Alright, so what I'm trying to do, obviously it's not going to work. So, what we're going to do here, more or less likely than not, is we're going to go right here, and I'm going to make it a little bit steeper. So I need to make these a little bit longer. It's very hard, you know, because you have to change this completely. And it's not even straight, so I'm actually going to go back here and we're going to replace... Okay, so what we're going to do actually is go to coasters. I'm going to take the different approach to this. And I'm actually going to use the advanced move tool to place the station, which is not actually going to be the real station. Center this up. Alright, so go back to regular. That can be straight. And now we can start going up. And over. So now we can... I'm going to keep the offset, banking offset off. And we're going to make a lot of adjustments here. This is going to be here. And at the midway point, we want it to be at 180. And then coming back down here. I'm going to twist this way. And this is exactly why I wanted to make it a little narrower. For this exact reason. Alright, this is very terrible looking. Looks nothing like it so far. But we're here to try and hopefully fix that. Because this is way too long and it needs to be a lot different from this. Because it's a lot steeper here, and this is a lot more narrower. In fact, I think the entrance needs to be even more narrower than what we have it now. So we're going to delete this. And a good idea to actually, what I'm going to do here, now that I think about it, is we're going to move this out of the way. I think this is a good idea. So if you look at the end-game one, which we're not going to be able to use the end-game. We go to rolls and let's find the 0G. It's going to be more similar. It's not going to be this, but it's going to be more similar to something like this. Which is actually a little bit closer than what we're going to do, so... So what we're going to do here is actually start this. And I'm going to create a basic 0G roll here. That we're going to smooth out. So I select all this. See, that's the one thing I hate about the smooth tool, is it will get rid of what I want. It even pretty much took away my inversion, which I think I actually did it wrong in the first place. That's funny. Okay, here. 190. Why can't I go 190 there? Is this not 90? This should be able to let me go 180. I meant to say 180. Why won't you let me go 180? Usually it lets you rotate every... enough here. Huh. Alright, we are the longest we can be here, so let's... oh, there it goes. You're gonna go here. You're gonna twist this way. You're gonna twist this way. And there we go. Now we should be able to smooth it. There we go, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. Thankfully. And the good thing is we can adjust the 0G roll to our needs. Alright, I didn't actually want you to do that. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move the coaster itself to be placed over the entrance as well as we can. And what we're going to do now is we're going to have to make it, or adjust it, to fit through the keyholes. Either that, or we can actually make the keyholes slightly smaller as well. Because this is quite... I did make the structure quite large, so... I'm going to put it right behind it so we can kind of see where it needs to go. Alright, so... as for the coaster, we're going to select it here. Maybe even make these a little bit steeper. So go 90 degrees. And this will go 180. And this will go to 70. This will go to 0. And this will actually go down here. Alright, and we'll adjust the coaster itself. We can even raise it up a little bit and adjust it this way. Might actually be a better idea. Alright, this is it's very challenging to get this proportionally right and stuff like that, so now we're going to be smoothing this out a little bit and see what we can do. Because what we're going to be mainly focusing on is just the twist in the middle to make sure it's where it needs to be, more than anything. Because I will be honest, I feel like this might be just a little bit tall. But we'll figure that out. Alright, trying to find a spot to where this will actually fit for the time being. That way I can adjust it more. If I can just fit it into the keyholes without it going red. I feel like we're getting closer though. See, I see it blinking, but I don't know if that's legitimate or not. I wish it would just let me place it there anyways. Okay, so we're gonna need to make... See, it's just a little bit too close to call there. But it will let me do it there. So, what I'm actually planning on doing here is we're going to go into here and edit building. I'm going to delete a section here. And actually move the tower down by 1. I actually think that will help. Let's see. As for proportions, I don't know. It just now it looks small to me now. But that's me. And maybe I'm just trying too hard. I don't know. But alright, let's connect you. And everything you see is probably not final either. I'll probably end up adjusting a lot of this stuff. See, now it's too short. It won't let me change it. Alright. This is getting interesting. Because, let me see. I'm taking a look at the tower structures, and it's definitely taller. So what I'm actually going to do is look up, maybe, gatekeeper 0G roll height. I want to get the height of gatekeeper 0G roll. Let's see. Keyhole elements. Let's see if I can find it. The height. The first drop is 170 feet. I'm not getting a really height for that, so we're just gonna have to kind of go based off of views here. So I'm actually going to take all these. Oh gosh, no, I didn't want to do that. Trying to rotate it at the same time. I forget I can let go of the control key and select other stuff. So this is how this is going to roll. We're going to get this. We're going to move you. Grid height, I'm going to change that up. There you go. Not really. Just kidding. See, right there would work. Did I line that up? Yes. Yes, I did. That's all that matters. Alright, so this will connect here. So will this. And get you back to what you need to be. And we're going to make this exactly the same. Otherwise, it will not look right. That's good, that's good. Alright, so move you. Alright, I got you all. And now you are going to be the exact same as this one. At least that's the plans. Roll you up. And now we have a gosh darn tower. Control D. That's what I pressed. I'm not crazy. Alright, those looks pretty. I'm feeling confident about this one. Maybe a little too confident. Obstructed by air. Okay, so this is gonna be difficult. Because I wish I could just place this there as a guide and then let it adjust for me. And let me adjust it to where it won't be obstructed. But it's not going to let me do that. I mean, I can lower it. Like, it's not going to let me place it except for right here. See, it's not being very friendly to me. It's got to be wide because it's got to fit the abnormally large outspread trains. But it only lets me do it when we are sunk in and... Where's that one spot? I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. Alright. So the best thing that we can do, I think the best thing I did was just fit it through the keyholes. And that's what we're going to do. So if I line you up here. Again, I'm no expert at this, so I've done this before. I really have. And it worked. I just wish I could go to find past Joe and say, hey, how did you do this? As you can see, that's not going to work. So we're going to turn angle snap off here and see if it'll let me do this. And this. But you can see just how bad it looks when I do that, or try and work it through here. So this becomes very difficult to fit through these. And for it to look good is one other thing. So, as you can see, just how the proportions look so bad. It looks like a... I don't know. Like, there's no fixing this. I don't know exactly what I did back in the old days when I actually did this. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to save this. Cedar Point Entrance. And save it as Cedar Point Entrance, which I just did. And we're going to go back to the... I'm going to go back to the main menu here. And I'll show you exactly. I think I still have it saved. I'm pretty sure I still have it saved. I never messed with it, so... Unless it's on alpha. So it might not be on here. I don't know. Could be way down in the depths of the old files. Well, there's Valraven. There's my Gatekeeper recreation, but I never made the entrance. Here it is. Look at it. My Cedar Point recreation off screen. And I want to see exactly what I did here. As it loads. I didn't get much done. I actually started making a little bit of the entrance and a little bit more after that. And here it is. See what I did here? I don't know what I did to get this so perfect and awesome. Do you see how well it fit through there? Alright, this is only 3 walls up. As you can see how I actually started making a little bit of the entrance. It was quite fun. And this turned out a lot better than what I was doing, so coaster-wise. It doesn't look half bad. It actually looks very close. And the only issue I was having was the incline dive loop. I was having a lot of issues with that. So. As for how I made this fit through so flawlessly without any issues, I don't know. I actually made slight supports here as well. But as you can see, there it is, right there. I wonder if I use the multi-selection tool, if I can select everything here and just move it. Oh, I can. Sweet. Alright, I'm going to move this back. And I was actually, as you can see, this has smaller because I was building it in alpha, so it's even smaller. A smaller map than what we would have. Anyways, I'm going to select all this. I don't know what I can do. Save selection as blueprint. Name your blueprint. Cedar Point Entrance. Entrance to Cedar Point. Alright, we're going to create this blueprint. And I'm going to head back to this. As you can see, it's a very simple thing to make. It's actually not a very hard building. We're going to go back. Cedar Point Entrance. Alright. So you can kind of see how the building's made. It's very simple. Now, getting it, the coaster through the keyholes is kind of another story. So I'm going to move you out of the way and just see how well this fits in here with the coaster. As you can see, I already have it here. And you can adjust this to touch the ground. There you go. And there's the entrance to Cedar Point. As you can see, I actually did do a lot of, or started to do a lot of the, you know, like the guest relations building, and I think this was the security building on the inside that I was actually working on. And I think this is actually already, it was already on the workshop and stuff. So, yeah. Now that we got it in here, I clearly did this just to get this in here, and just to get the mainly the coaster in here fitting through the keyholes. I don't exactly know what I did wrong, where I went wrong. I'm going to delete this, sorry. And actually just adjust, because everything here is exactly the same, except for a couple of textures and stuff. Now, as for the building, you can see how simple it literally is. Just like the glass textures and stuff like that. So everything I did here is actually no different, because I actually did copy this at the same time. So I'm going to go in here and actually, let's see. We'll actually keep that the same. What I'm going to do is actually get a different texture for this, because it didn't used to be that texture. So now we're going to find buildings, and we're just going to find the paneled and make it black. And that should work. Wherever the paneled wall is, there it is. Go to, make this black. Put you across here. But as you can tell, it is the same. And this is the guest relations building, which is actually connected, but it isn't here for right now. As you can see, there's a little gap that we'll have to fix. But that works out. I think there's another small building on this side as well. But yeah, without further ado, though, we can go ahead and create the path going on the inside. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and search something else. Cedar Point. See if I can't find the kind of the entrance. If I put Cedar Point exit. Carousel. I think there's a carousel at the very front entrance, right? Because they have more than one carousel in the park. I don't know. What do I know about Cedar Point? You know, I've only been there once. But this will be quite nice. Quite cool. But anyways, you get the general idea of how the entrance is created, and it's very simple. And as for these parts, these are kind of just like parts of the entrance in a way. So they're very simple. I mean, literally just the same thing as this, the general idea. And if you get like some good reference photos, like some decent reference photos, there actually is a gap there, I guess. So it works quite well, and you can do whatever you want. And as for the inclined dive loop, it kind of was bad, and this all needs to be a little bit slightly reworked a bit. And but it is the entrance, and it has the coaster going over it, and literally I did build this exactly the same, so I'm not like trying to cheat the system. I just wanted to get the coaster on the inside of the keyholes, because I forgot exactly how I did that. And I know this is supposed to be a tutorial, and Joe completely messed it up. So there is an update coming soon. I don't know exactly when, but they announced that there's going to be an update for that the coaster supports are going to get better, and there's actually a new flat ride coming, I think, as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what they do for that. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more Planet Coaster content. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue this series, if I want to make an actual recreation of Cedar Point. I wouldn't be able to fit it all in one thing, of course, an all-in-one sandbox. I would have to cut it up into sections. But we'll see how that goes. And yeah, this was always a lot of fun to do, and I don't know exactly what's going to be next for it. So that's about it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. Make sure you have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.